everyone, and welcome to Seminole, Texas, News Center 7's high school football game of the week. I'm Pat Monticelli along with Randy Lynn, and we've got a good game tonight in some terrible weather. The Seminole Indians against the Denver City Mustangs, and Randy, this one is shaping up to be a great contest, but as you can tell from looking at us, the wind is going to play a big factor tonight.
Absolutely, and I was talking to the Seminole head coach, Army Salinas, and he feels like the wind may be to the advantage of Denver City, mainly because Denver City's offensive line, he says, outweighs the defensive line for the Seminole Indians by a big chunk. So averaging about 245 pounds on the line for Denver City. He just does not want to allow them to have any kind of a ball control offense and grind it out. And he doesn't want to keep his defense on the field very long, because Denver City just tends to wear people down, and every game this year they've done that. They are now, I believe, 8-1 on the season and undefeated in district. They've already clinched the district championship. So basically, the Indians must win, but also receive some help from Brownfield, who's up against Cooper. So playoff implications here, the incentive here, of course, for the Indians, they must win or they do not go to the playoffs. And as far as the incentive to win this game for Denver City, they want to go undefeated in district.
Oh, they certainly do. Before we go any farther, I want to point out before someone else does that we do have almost matching jackets here, Randy and I. No doubt about our allegiance in the professional ranks. And, but for this game tonight, as Randy mentioned, it is a great contest. Seminole is trying to go to the playoffs for the first time since the early 80s. And really, they have a great opportunity to do it tonight. They're a good football team, but they are going to need a little bit of help, as Randy mentioned. Not only does Seminole have to win here, but also Brownfield has to beat Lubbock Cooper, and that's going to be an all-important game. Because if that happens, Seminole wins and Brownfield wins, Seminole gets to go, and that would be great for them. But as you mentioned, Denver City is a very, very, very tough ball club. We saw them earlier this year, and it was very early in the season, and even the second week of the season, they looked tough.
That is exactly right. Of course, they're led by quarterback Josh Smith, and he's able to control his team, and they do grind it out. And they run out of the I formation. I believe last year they ran the wishbone, and very effective running and passing. Josh Smith is a left-handed quarterback, very strong, and he knows how to lead his team down the field, and they do control the ball, something that Army Salinas, head coach for the Indians, is concerned about.
But the Indians are very, very, very confident coming into this game tonight. They are a full belief that they can win this ball game, and as you mentioned earlier, Coach Salinas thinks that he's got some opportunities with some good players to win this ball game.
Yeah, he said he's very, very proud of his team this year, and they're loaded with talent not only on offense but defense, and he says they match up pretty well against Denver City, except for the size. Now, he's going to have to depend on some of his speed burners on defense to make some big plays, not allow Denver City to control the football on offense.
Both teams have a lot of players that go both ways tonight, so we'll see how that factors in later on as the players get more tired and this wind continues to blow, and we'll look for teams to score a lot of points when they've got the wind at their backs.
And absolutely, and I think Craig Stewart said something, wind warnings in effect for area lakes, ponds, bird baths, swimming pools. It's windy. It's hurricane weather right now.
If there's a puddle in the middle of the road, there's a wind warning for it tonight. This should be a very, very good ball game. We're looking forward to it. We are high atop the press box here at Wigwam Stadium in Seminole, and we're going to be set to go in just a few minutes. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. And welcome back to Seminole News Center 7's high school football game of the week. The Seminole Indians have elected to receive the opening kickoff. Denver City in the red and white, Seminole in the all black with the yellow outlining on the uniforms. As we get set, it's a big game and we're underway. Kick is taken on the bounce at the 25-yard line. Near the 20, there's a big hole up the middle. Good return up past the 40, up over the 50-yard line.
Has a great return by the quarterback for the Seminoles, or the Indians rather, Stephen Wright. He is the quarterback. Returned that, found the seam up the middle, and made a good run all the way up to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position to start off for the Indians.
I'll tell you what, the way Stephen Wright returned that kick, he could be playing for the Seminoles here pretty soon. It's a nice kick return. Great blocking up front, and the Indians have the ball in great field possession to start their first drive, just over midfield of the Denver City end of things. 1st and 10. Right underneath center, two backs in the backfield, a little bit of movement, no call, and Wright gets into trouble a little bit as he squirts out on a quarterback roll. He'll pick up about 3.
And number 50, Nick Boyd, on that trip up there, making the tackle a short gain, but the Indians definitely looking to start the game off with the running game.
And number 30 checks into the game for Seminole. That is Cody Fleming, 175-pound junior, into the ball game as Wright comes back up underneath center. Same formation, two backs in the backfield, tight formation. Handoff inside, good blocking up front and a good squirt forward. Picks up about 3, maybe 4 on the carry.
A big blast up the middle. Braun Curtis, number 24, Denver City, took the initial hit, and he was pushed backwards several yards until the swarming defense of the Mustangs came in to help out.
There was Nathaniel Flores, number 35, on the carry. Makes it 3rd down and about 3 for the Indians. Motion in the backfield. Handoff up inside. No, it's a fake. Wright still got the ball. He puts it on the turf. It looks like it bounced back to him, but Wright will go nowhere. He'll lose almost 2 yards. So they tried the fake handoff inside. Wright tried to roll out. Denver City read it perfectly.
And Denver City, that huge defensive line, as well as the linebackers. Number 50, Nick Boyd, the linebacker, kind of finished off that play. And, of course, they fumbled the ball. Stephen Wright did, and it bounced back into his hands.
The punter for Seminole is number 12, Casey Powers. He's back about 15 behind the line of scrimmage. It's a low snap. Powers fields it, gets off a good kick. Denver City lets it bounce, goes down about the 18-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs will have their first possession of the night.
And, of course, that was a very good punt. He had a tight spiral on that, and he had to do it to get it that far. That wind blowing straight out of the north and gusting, I'm sure, around 30 to 35 miles per hour. So no easy task for a punter tonight against the wind.
Absolutely not. He got lucky. There was a little bit of a break in the wind when he kicked the ball. So Denver City comes out for their first offensive possession of the night. They'll start off their own 18-yard line. Just under 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter of this one. No score. First down. Quick pitch to the running back. He's got some room around the outside. Stuck hard right at about the 25 or 20-yard line.
Anthony Salazar, number 18, came in from his cornerback position and really laid a lick on the running back for Denver City to create a short gain there.
So bring up second down and about 4. Make it second down and 7 for Denver City. Two receivers split wide to the left. And this time the quarterback will keep it, and he is smothered after a gain of about 2. That's Josh Smith on the QB keeper.
In on the tackle is number 75, Mark Zellner.
Well, actually, it looks like Smith actually picked up a few more yards than it appeared from the spot that he went down. It's going to be a gain of about 3, and that'll set up a 3rd and 3, just shy of the 25-yard line. Motion to the left. Quick handoff inside, and there's a hole and a pickup of a first down. Braun Curtis with the carry. Nice blocking up front.
Anthony Salazar came in to lay a lick on him, but not enough. The Denver City Mustangs able to squeeze in that first down on their first drive of the ball game.
So the pickup of the first down. Ball is just shy of the 30-yard line as Denver City comes up. Josh Smith up underneath center. He's got two backs in the backfield, tight formation. And off inside. And the pickup will be about 2, carrying the ball that time. Number 30, Guy Kinman. And we want to say hello and good evening to Jay Gordon Lunn, who joins us here atop the very windy press box in Seminole.
I just want to commend you guys again for getting us in a lucky spot.
You know,
I think you've done this before.
I found a little cubby hole down here. I'm trying to stay out of the wind.
I see that.
I can
you
barely
do have
see
a
the
good
game.
spot.
Second down at about 7. Smith on the keeper. He's got some room. Good blocking up front. He's tripped up just shy of the first down. The The man making the tackle, number 8 for Seminole, that is the quarterback.
Stephen Wright, yes, he's all over the field tonight. He stopped a potentially large gain. However, it's going to bring up only about 3rd and 1.5, maybe 2 yards for Denver City.
And Denver City does have the wind at their backs here in the first period, and hoping to capitalize on that. As we mentioned earlier, a very gusty wind here in Seminole tonight, coming directly out of the north. On the 3rd down, quarterback sneak. It looks like Smith will have it as he carries over his big, strong center. Number 72 leading the blocking. That's Brad Woolsey.
Number 75, Mark Zellner, on the stop for the Indians.
And the ball will sit just about at the 40-yard line. Jay Gordon's going to join us periodically throughout the evening, thanking those folks that have helped bring you this game tonight. And boy, there's a long list of those people.
We do have quite a bit of them in Seminole, and some Denver City people have joined in on this.
And we'll thank those sponsors throughout the evening, because without their help, this just wouldn't be possible. We thank them sincerely. On 1st down, the quick pitch. And the runner keeps going. Gain of about 7. Nice carry by Guy Kidman.
Brandon Stokes, number 10 for the Indians, on the tackle, but not after a large gain there on the option play and pitch. 2nd down and about 4 yards to go.
Well, you mentioned in the pregame show, Randy, about how Denver City was confident that they could control the line of scrimmage with their big offensive line. So far in this series, they've done exactly that.
They don't know any other way. That's the way they've won all their games this season, is grinding it out and wearing the other teams down.
Another handoff quickly inside. This one will come up just short of the 1st down, maybe by a yard. And again, it's Guy Kidman with the carry. He's the workhorse.
And again, it's Mark Zellner, number 75, in on the tackle, bringing up a 3rd and short for the Mustangs.
This one's going to be less than a yard. This is 3rd and, I'd say 6 inches, maybe a foot.
I can lay down some money that it's going to be a quarterback sneak.
You think? Well, let's see. 3rd and short. Last time it was a sneak. This time it's a handoff inside, and a big hole for number 20, Ron Curtis. He'll pick up close to 10, more than enough for the 1st down.
Brandon Stokes in on the tackle there from his defensive back position. Laid a big lick on him, but not after a nice gain for a grind him up 1st down once again for the Mustangs.
So 1st and 10, the 3rd 1st down of the drive for Denver City. They keep things going. They are at the 43-yard line of Seminole now. Quick pitch again to Kidman. He's got some room outside, evades 1 tackle, buries his shoulder, picks up about 6 yards, down at about the 33-yard line. Actually make that the 37.
Number 50, Robert Landrum, in on the stop for the Indians. Of course, Army Salinas, for the Indians head coach, he is very concerned about the size difference in the trenches. Denver City, he says, averages about 245 on the line, while his defensive linemen average around 180, 190. Big difference there.
2nd and 5. Handoff inside, it's Kidman again. He gets a hole, but a nice tackle to save the 1st down.
By Gaby Alanes, number 51. Nice tackle from that linebacker spot. Stopped a potentially large gain there, bringing up now about a 3rd and 1.5.
Well, Alanis came up and caught the runner just as he came through the hole. And, you know, I tell you what, if Alanis isn't there plugging that hole and hanging onto those feet, that goes for a long way.
You're exactly right. We're seeing Denver City continue to push the Indians forward, backwards that is.
3rd and short again. This time the handoff to Kidman doesn't get near as much, but it still appears to be enough for the 1st down. Let's see where they spot the ball. They'll spot it dead on the 32-yard line.
Alanis on the tackle once again, but short yardage. However, it is another 1st down.
I want to make a correction on that name there. It is Gabby Alanis.
Gabby Alanis.
And we apologize for the mispronunciation. Moms and dads, you'll have to forgive us for a few of those tonight. 1st down again for Denver City as they continue to move the ball, 32-yard line. There's Kidman again. This time it's plugged up well, strung out nicely by the Indians. Goes for about 3 yards. That time the Indians linebackers did a good job of pushing forward and stringing that thing deep to the outside.
Yes, Alanis again on that stop there, moving swiftly down the line of scrimmage, reading that perfectly, and he had some help by, I believe, one of the defensive backs, number 26, Darren Kruger.
Every play in this drive has been on the ground so far. This drive has taken up more than 6 minutes of the first quarter. We're down to about 3:30 left to play in period number 1. And Denver City keeps going. Kidman up inside. He'll pick up a couple close to the 25-yard line, so we'll make it third and about 3.5.
You know, tonight the wind may be a factor in what kind of game they're playing. Now, they may be a passing team, both of them, but because look how hard the wind is where we are up here. If it's anything like that down on the field, passing is going to be tough.
Extremely tough, and as we mentioned in the pregame show, that's one of the reasons that Denver City is doing exactly what they're doing. They're grinded out, wear you down kind of an offense, and every play so far been on the ground. And here it is again, Guy Kimmon up inside. This one appears to be short of a first down.
A good tackle on the play, number 75, Mark Zellner, at his defensive tackle spot. Short gain there, bringing up about a fourth down and about a half yard. Interesting to see what Denver City will do. I bet they go for it.
I think they will go for it. It'll be interesting to see a field goal from here, though, only because, you know, the kicker's going to love it with the kind of wind at this back, with this kind of wind at his back.
Yeah.
But we won't see that. We'll see the go for it on the fourth down and about a half a yard. Handoff inside. It's going to be a first down. The first player through went with the quarterback instead of the running back, and that enabled the runner to pick up the first. Number 20, Braun Curtis, with the carry that time.
Yeah, it was a nice hole right up the middle. Seminole, I mean, they're definitely making some hard hits early in the ball game here, but they are getting blown off the ball at least by 2 and 5 yards at a time. So you're going to continue to go backwards if that continues to happen.
All right, so far, total domination by the Denver City offensive line. Another first down. Smith up underneath center. First pass of the ball game. It's there, and it's in the end zone. Touchdown.
That's a beautiful pass by Josh Smith. Laid it up perfectly where the defender had no chance to get it. The receiver made a good 360 turnaround and found the ball, and right across the goal line, nice pass. The first pass of the ball game, it goes for a touchdown.
Blake Hicks, number 84, the 5'10.5" senior, 153 pounds, and all 153 of them went up in the air for that one. It was a perfect throw by Josh Smith. He put it exactly where he had to in order to make sure it was either complete or incomplete, but no chance of an interception.
And on defense there, number 8, Stephen Wright, had the play out there, and we're seeing going for 2, and they did not make it. That was some sort of was that a missed snap? Or
no, it was a 2-point conversion attempt. The entire offensive line lined up to the deep right side of the field. Center, kicker, and holder to the left side of the field, and they faked the kick and tried to go with the pass, and it looked to be a perfect pass, just wasn't handled. So the 2-point conversion fails. It's the first time we've seen that this year.
Yeah, kind of the old swinging gate play, I guess they call that.
Well, the swinging gate slammed shut on the receiver's hands, apparently, because he dropped the ball. So 6-0 is where we stand right now, with 1 minute 51 seconds left to go in the first quarter, as the Denver City Mustangs strike first on the touchdown pass from Josh Smith to Blake Hicks. And Jay Gordon, let's check out some of those sponsors tonight.
I visited, I've been here for about 3 days this week in Seminole, and Goldie's Antiques and Crafts is one place that I visited. And that store is full of items for Christmas. If you're just about to get your Christmas shopping list together, then Goldie's Antiques and Gifts and Crafts in downtown at 110 South Main is the place for you. 758-1955 is their phone number. Owls by the millions, it seems like. Cookie jars, crafts, collectibles. It just goes on and on and on. Antique furniture, glassware. Ernie Singleton is the owner, and he has a staff waiting to serve you. Just walk in the door and get taken care of.
And so Denver City, after the touchdown, will kick it off. It's number 21 doing the kicking duties. That's Tony McCrae.
Earlier, he didn't even use the tee. It was blowing so hard, he kicked a big watermelon, and it was rolling around like a big watermelon.
And it turned out to be a pretty good return for Seminole off that first kick.
And that's why he's got it teed up now.
Decided that was the first and last time he was going to try that, huh?
Not a great idea.
So with 1 minute 51 seconds left to go in the opening period, this kick is much better. This one will bounce at about the 2 and go out of the back of the end zone with a little help from that wind, and we are still at 6-0. Denver City out on top.
Brandon Stokes had to let that one go, and obviously a better idea to tee that thing up, even in golf. I mean, you always want to tee it high and let it fly when you're downwind so you can get it to catch some air, so to speak.
I've discovered while I was in town this past week, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but this is one grudge battle going on.
Oh, boy, let me tell you what.
It's like OHS and Permian in Odessa, you know. By the way, another one of our sponsors is Bob Clark Financial Services at 222 South Main. Bob Clark and his staff, Kathy's working with him. And Bob was a mayor of Seminole for a lot of years. Said he finally decided politics is not the best way to make a living. So he went back to the financial services way of working.
And we've got a timeout. Seminole takes a timeout to talk things over before their first offensive play. So that gives us a chance to catch up with some more of those sponsors.
All right, Lowry Drug Incorporated at 200 West Avenue A is loaded down with any kind of gift you want. Ethan and Glenda Lowry are the owners, and they have a big staff waiting to serve you. They have gifts, collectibles, and they certainly want to stress collectibles such as dreamsicles, gnomes, precious moments, and the list is very, very long. The best thing you can do is go in and see what they do have. Jewelry, diamonds, costume jewelry. If you want it, they have it or they can get it. Their phone number is 758-3638. Lowry Drug Incorporated, downtown, in the downtown area of Seminole.
First down for the Seminole Indians. They come up trying to get things even in this ball game again after Denver City struck for the first touchdown of the game on their opening drive. One wide receiver wide to the right. And Stephen Wright hands off. There's a hole for his runner up to the 25-yard line doing the ball carrying duties. Number 29.
And he was hit down by number 40, Ben Wells, who came in over from his cornerback position.
That's Toby
tackle.
That's Toby Shane, the ball carrier on that one. And he will pick up about 5. Call it second down and 5 for the Indians. So second down for the Indians. Stephen Wright up underneath center. 2 backs in the backfield. Motion to the left. The handoff inside to number 35 with some room to run. He'll pick up a first down at the 34-yard line. That's Nathaniel Flores with his second carry of the night.
And once again, number 40, Ben Wells, comes across from his cornerback position and stops a potentially large gain on that, which did end up gaining several yards for the first down.
Pickup of about 9. Makes it a first down for the Indians at their own 34-yard line.
They're picking on that right side a little bit, right off the guard and tackle.
Again, 2 backs in the backfield behind Wright. Handoff to the first back through, number 35 again, Flores, and he does a great job chugging and churning up over the 40, near the 41-yard line. Pickup of about 7.
Army Salinas said he'd be using his big fullback tonight on some quick traps and also some counter plays he said are very effective for the Indians throughout the season. He'll also throw some quick play action passes, but I don't think he's going to try too much of that against that strong wind.
Second down and call it 4 for the Indians. Right with the handoff, this time to number 29, and he gets close to the 45-yard line before being belted out of bounds.
By number 30, Guy Kinman came off and made the lick, and he was also confronted after the play a bit by one of the Indians, but that's going to be a first down, another good carry.
Toby Shane, the tailback, swinging it outside, and I'll tell you, just as he got to the sideline, he got blasted.
This is exactly what Army Salinas wants to do. He wants to keep his defense off the field so they don't get so worn out by that big offensive line of the Mustangs.
You're absolutely right. And that's going to do it for the first quarter. With 1 expired here in this one, it is Denver City 6 and Seminole nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter of action in New Center 7's high school football game of the week right after this. And we're back. Second quarter action. Beginning of the second quarter. Seminole versus Denver City. Seminole with the ball. A little bit of motion, but it was the wide receiver got set before the play went off, and the play goes for about, maybe a yard.
Now on the tackle, number 20, Ron Curtis from his linebacker spot. Had a little help for number 50, Nick Boyd. Now that's a wing right right motion counterplay that Army Salinas said he was going to use quite a bit. And that was stopped nicely by the linebacking core of the Mustangs.
Toby Shane, the tailback with the carry that time, picked up about a yard. 2nd and 9. We may see Seminole open it up a little bit now with the wind at their backs. And Stephen Wright's going to keep it, and he's got a hole. Trips over his own man as he crosses the 50-yard line. That hole was big enough to drive a truck through, and a leg came up and caught Wright as he went through. You can see him holding his knee.
Right, number 21, Tony McCray, did help out on that tackle, and that could have gone for some big-time yardage, if not for that little trip up there.
There was an inadvertent leg up in the air, and Stephen Wright just couldn't clear it. But when he caught his knee, he was holding his knee a little bit as he came back to the huddle.
The old inadvertent leg problem. I hate that.
You know, motion in the backfield, 2 backs behind Wright. The pitch, and the first back through, first defender through can't corral Toby Shane. Shane goes for the first down after breaking the intended tackle. Number 51 or 56 may have been in the backfield first.
As Gavin Beretta, he was in on the tackle, and just a great hole there opened up on that sweep. You've got to give a lot of credit to that left side of the line as well as the wide receiver for the Indians to create that lane for the tailback to gain the yardage he did.
So another first down for the Seminole Indians. They're at the 41-yard line of Denver City. Right back to pass, rolling. He's got some time and blockers, and it's complete. Nice catch. Downfield, a nice blocking on the rollout. The receiver, number 30. That's Cody Fleming, the 175-pound junior. Boy, he curled in there nicely, didn't he?
He did. I tell you, though, Stephen Wright, the quarterback, had such great patience on the rollout. He didn't have anybody open, and he waited and waited, and finally his receiver came open. It was kind of a tough throw across his body, but he was able to get it in there.
And he waited it out and took a lick for it. Got it complete, though. 2nd down and about 1.5. Handoff inside. This is Flores again, and he lunges forward. He may have the first down with the lunge. It depends on where they spot the ball. They're going to spot it just short of the 31-yard line.
I believe he does have that number 30 Guy Kimmin on the tackle. He was dragged a bit, making a nice hit, but that big fullback carried him a ways, and we have another first down for the Indians as they continue to grind it up, if you will.
Well, we mentioned earlier, Jay Gordon did, that this is a grudge match, and you're absolutely right. These two towns about 30 miles apart or so. It's very reminiscent of the Permian OHS matchups and the type of intensity that this game brings on, and we're seeing it so far. First down, Seminole. Another nice run by Shane, cuts it back and picks up about 5 or 6 yards on the carry. Nice blocking on the sweep by that offensive line.
Nice tackle by number 56, Tom Beckerman, at the defensive end position. And Seminole definitely showing some ball control offense on the ground only. Very impressive at this point.
Now that's going to go for about 8 yards, so call it 2nd down and 2. Nice carry by Toby Shane, the 180-pound sophomore tailback. And I'll tell you what, if he's a sophomore now, just wait till this kid's a senior. 2nd down. Right with the handoff to Flores. Flores powers through for a first down and then some, down close to the 15-yard line.
That offensive line is blowing Denver City right off the ball a good 4 and 5 yards. That certainly helps your big backs move through the line of scrimmage at will. That's what we're seeing right now as the Indians march down the field, as did Denver City on their first drive.
And Jay Gordon, quickly, let's check out another one of those sponsors.
2 new friends I met this past week here, Pat. Jack and Gay Lavender and their staff at Lavender's Car Clinic wants to thank all of their many customers that do business with them. Lavender's Car Clinic can do anything you need done to your vehicle.
First down, handoff to Shane. This time he stood up just about the 15, down to the 14-yard line.
Stood up by number 50, Nick Boyd, from his linebacker position. Did pick up 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
By the way, on that Lavender's Car Clinic, they want to say that their motto is they take the time to take care of your vehicle. A lot of people don't seem to do that, but they do. They're at 510 North Main, Lavender's Car Care Clinic, or Car Clinic. First chance you get, go by and tell them you heard Jay Gordon talking about them on TV, okay?
Second down and 8 for Seminole. One wide receiver split wide each side. Two backs in the backfield behind Wright. Wright's going to keep the ball. He's got a hole on the outside. If he can get to the sideline, he gets down to about the 10-yard line. I'll tell you what, Stephen Wright had a hole if he could have cut it back at about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, the pursuit, they were pretty much overrunning that play. He had a giant lane. If he would have cut back against the grain, I think he would have gone for maybe 10, 15 yards. But he followed his blocks probably as the coach would teach him to do and thought he could make the corner, but great pursuit by Denver City.
So it'll be 3rd and about 3 for Seminole as they try to keep things going.